Hi everyone, welcome back to Cabral HouseCall. I'm here to answer your wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging questions today. I'm Steve Cabral, board certified naturopathic doctor, and what I'm going to do is take 3 questions based on our Motivation Monday topic and go through those one by one and make sure that we try to answer a variety of questions each week. I think we answer at least 15 to 20 questions of yours on a weekly basis. So please do continue to submit those anywhere you'd like on social media, as well as stevecabral.com/askcabral. So let's get started. The first question comes in today, and it is essentially, let me paraphrase this. What's the easiest way to get started if you have no idea what functional medicine is, if you've never heard of naturopathic medicine, and this whole idea of essentially getting to the underlying root causes of your issues? So what I would recommend is, even before you take that first step, is that do a little bit of research on your own, do a little bit of homework. You can certainly buy a book, read a book on what functional medicine is, what naturopathic medicine is, because there's many different types of medicine. Not every functional medicine doctor or practitioner is exactly the same. A lot of them just do blood work. Some do urine, some do hair, some do saliva, some do stool testing. It really depends on kind of how integrated and how diverse that practitioner's background is. And remember, they don't have to be a doctor either. You could certainly find a chiropractor, acupuncturist, or health professional, nutritionist in general, who knows a lot of this information. Again, it's not just doctors who kind of have the cornerstone, or they have cornered the market on this. So what I recommend is simply start. You can do some research online. Online's a scary place to do your research because everyone has an opinion, and usually you're only finding the first page of Google when you do a search, so you're not always getting the best information out there. But I try to stay pretty unbiased, and I consider myself pretty integrated. I'm allowing myself to always stay open to possibilities. And you can certainly look at stevecabral.com, and you can find all sorts of things on finding the underlying root causes of your problems. But you can also just type that into Google. Underlying root causes, look deeper than the symptoms, functional medicine matrix, all of these specific things that we're trained in, and that I've kind of gone beyond that and looked at what I call kind of Ayurvedic medicine practice, as well as naturopathic practice, and the big scope. So my recommendation to you is kind of first get a handle on what are we really talking about, these underlying root causes of what's going on, the hidden symptoms, the hidden triggers. Because essentially, if you don't find out what these are that you're suffering from, that you're going through, all you're looking at really are the symptoms. And the symptoms are what you believe your disease to be, or a symptom would be being overweight, but overweight is not a disease. It's not actually anything specific that has to do with your underlying root causes. Your underlying root causes are now manifesting themselves as your disease, your energy issues, or your weight gain. So start to look deeper. After that, then you can start to look at a hair tissue mineral analysis, an adrenal stress test, a hormone test, an organic acids test, any one of these specific tests based on your specific symptoms, because your symptoms do matter. We just have to look at what the underlying causes are that are causing those symptoms in the first place. I'll talk more about this, but hopefully that at least gave you a place to start. It's just do some searching, read a book, start to get yourself immersed in this so you understand what's going on in your body. What we're going to move on to next is accountability. So one of the hardest parts of getting to your goals isn't the initial part where you have that motivation and you're excited, you're pumped up, you're ready to go, but it's what happens after those first 3 weeks, those first 6 weeks, maybe even those first 12 weeks if you've made it through that, is how do you get to the 4 months, to the 6-month goal, to the 12-month goal, whatever that might be, that might take you. Because remember, if you have 50 pounds or 100 pounds to lose, that's not going to happen in your first 4 weeks or 6 weeks. It will happen, but it's just going to take a little longer. And same with deeper wellness-based issues as well. If you have an autoimmune-based disease, you can certainly start to feel better in your first month to 6 weeks, but you need to let some time pass before those tissues really repair themselves. So accountability is huge, and the only way that I've really seen work is that you need to either find an accountability coach, someone that you work with, whether it's a nutritionist, a personal trainer, a doctor, a health practitioner. And if you can't afford a coach who's basically being paid to keep you accountable, is then what I would recommend is going through this with a friend. So someone that's gonna not let you slide backwards, that's not gonna let you take the easy way out, that's gonna make you check in with them at least once to twice a week. And that might be submitting your nutrition, it might be telling them when you messed up, but really keeping you on track. And because this has to be really important to you. To achieve your goals, you have to make it a priority. So do find an accountability partner. It's really worth its weight in gold. Can't recommend it enough. Even if you can just hire a personal trainer, nutritionist, someone to check in with for even 30 minutes a week, perfect. You can Skype them. Again, if you can meet them in person, you can submit those nutrition sheets even better. I think that's really going to help you in the long run. And again, you're not going to need this forever. You're going to need it for somewhere maybe around 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 6 months maximum, because then the lifestyle has set in and you'll keep your own promise to yourself, especially when you see those results starting to come. All right, last question is, essentially, let me again break this down, get it to its simplest form, and that's what, if any, books or recommendations can I make? So it's such a broad topic that I hate to say, here's one book and it's great for everyone. So what I would say is this. My opinion is this, and of course I'm kind of known as the guy who reads a lot, the naturopathic doctor who's reading many, many books a week, who's read thousands of books over the course of himself trying to get well and help others. But what I would say is this, even though I have read a fair amount of books, what I would say is books are really personal to what you're looking for. They kind of find you, that's what I always say. Even to this day, as I'm continuing my love for reading, is like, how do I come up with the next book or whatever it is? And a lot of times that's with where you're at in your life right now or what you're trying to discover for others. So what I would say is simply find a book that speaks to you. Spend some time on Amazon. If you have a bookstore still left around you, spend some time in that bookstore. All you have to do is find that one specific topic and then go deep. If it's Hashimoto's, if it's rheumatoid arthritis, if it's trying to lose weight, if it's energy, adrenal fatigue, whatever it might be, just go deep on that topic. Pick out one book. Find a book that's well recommended. Ask someone specifically on that topic. But here's my big takeaway from you, is that make sure you commit yourself to reading that book just like you would to any other goal. Now, the thing about this is I've kind of gotten it down to a science, and always my recommendation for people is this. If you're just new to essentially reading books, meaning like if you only read a couple books per year, here's a great way to get through it. You'll now be able to read 12 books a year or one book a month. All you have to do is read 10 pages a day. 10 pages a day equals 300 pages a month. And if you read 300 pages a month, you can take out at least one book a month. And I think that's the best way to do it. So it was the way I got started. I wasn't reading multiple books or over 250, 300 books a year. When I first got started, I was simply saying, okay, here's a topic that I need to learn about. It's not being taught in school. Let me go find a book on it. And so that's what I did. And I just committed to 10 pages a day. 10 pages became 20, became 30, and just kept going from there. But 10 pages is this. For most people, kind of at a slow reading level, it's about 3 pages per minute. So if you're looking at that, it's about 1 page every 3 minutes. So what that means is that you're going to be reading about 30 minutes per day, and that will equal 10 pages per day. That will take you through one book a month. Again, if you have, I'm going to go back to this. Let's just go with an issue on low thyroid. Imagine if you were to read 12 books in a year on low thyroid. Now, hopefully you'll be completely cured before that point, but let's just say you read 12 books on it. You would be, I would say, somewhat of your own expert on anything thyroid-based because you've read 12 different authors' books, and these are experts on the topic, on that one specific topic. So you yourself will become almost of an expert, in that. And I would actually say you'd be an expert because you know far more than most people, and probably even a lot of health practitioners, if you read 12 books on just low thyroid. So what I would say is, go with that method. Read 10 pages at lunch, read 3 pages when you wake up, 3 pages at lunch, and 4 pages before bed, and that will equal your 10 pages per day. Again, I'm used to just reading a little bit more, but you know what? I got there by reading 1 book a month in the beginning and just started to multiply from there because I read what I had to in school. I read what I had to growing up, but then my love for this knowledge just started to increase, and I think yours will as well. So use that, take that to the bank. After you've started to read at least 10 pages per day, you can move up from there, and that will take you to 1 book a month, 2 books a month, 3 books a month. Hope you enjoyed today's Cabral House Call. I'm Stephen Cabral. I'll be back real soon with more of your questions answered. Thank you for just tuning into the Cabral Concepts. I want to make you aware of a really fun contest we have going on right now in January. And what we're going to do is we're actually giving away over $2,000 in prizes. This is amazing stuff. This is all things that people use in my own Boston practice, and it's completely free to enter. All you have to do is simply download, subscribe, and review this podcast. Just, give it, hopefully, 5 stars or as many stars as you can give it. Right on iTunes. Very, very simple. To get the full details, simply go to cabralpodcast.com.